So thank you, Afroz, for coming on my show.
Thank you for inviting.
So you can tell us about yourself a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, my name is Afroz Sheikh. I live in Calgary. So, I'm a real estate agent here locally, and I have a company called The Couple Estate. So, I started my journey as a realtor like a couple of years ago, and I'm trying to help all the audience here. My main focus is on getting the new built houses in Calgary because most of the time there is an issue with old houses. Like many people have seen the challenge of buying old houses and getting into a trap. So yeah, that's about me. Yeah,
So when you started the company?
it's like 2021.
Okay. So
Yeah,
basically, 3 years ago.
almost 3 years ago.
Mhm. So new houses, you mean to say the houses which are like they're constructing, or
Yes. So new houses, which, for example, if any person wants to build his own house according to his needs, so connect those guys with the builders who are in the market, and I will also help them, people who are looking to buy like within couple of months or within 6 months. So the issue is like most of the time when people go directly to the builder, they have to listen to the builder. They don't have anything to say. Builders will dominate them. And being a newbie in the real estate industry or real estate purchase, you feel dominated and you will not be able to express your heart out. That's how I get handy. I come in handy and I explain the builder, oh, this is what my client needs, and you need to accommodate all the requirements of my client. So yeah.
oh, okay, okay. But that's very unique because normally people in general they sell like old houses and all, right? In general, like in the real estate.
Yeah, I do that as well, but that is available everywhere. But my specialty is new houses
Right, right.
because yeah, because most of the time what happens is like in the old houses, you go and select whatever house you want. There is no one to face you, like there is no one to challenge you. There's no seller sitting in front of you. But in the field of new home or pre-construction, the builder's representative is there who is trying to manipulate you to get the house sold as is without making any changes, or even he will not allow you to negotiate on the price. But me being the expert in the real estate industry, I know the exact value of that house, and I help my client to make a decision whether to pay that price or not. So that's how being a real estate agent, I help my clients in buying a new house.
So suppose if someone wants to build his own house, so what are the price difference if I want to suppose buy a old house which someone is reselling and I'm building my own house? So what are the price difference?
Honestly, there is no price difference. The only difference you will find is like, uh, for example, if you're building your house, you need to purchase a land. You need to get all the permissions from the from the developer and everything. Then you hire contractors by yourself, which is a very daunting process in Canada. In India, it is different. You don't need any license for any tradesman. But here, if
Right.
you are hiring a plumber, if you're hiring a electrician, if you're hiring any tradesman like a frame worker or drywall worker, they need a license to be in the industry. That is for the first challenge. The second challenge is like the municipality requirements. The municipality requirements is like the city has to give the permissions for that. The city has to give the permissions for that, and if city will not allow you, that is a big issue, and you cannot handle by yourself. Oh, I'm really sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so where were we? Yeah, so regarding
Oh,
the
the
price
building the
difference.
houses, yeah. Now you, when you buy an old house, the issue is old house will come with surprises. There can be any problem coming to the mechanical, the flooring, the roof. You need to be inspected to the core. Even after the thorough inspection, there will be an issue with so many things which you cannot anticipate. Okay, but I'm not saying every old house has issues. Most of the houses are good, but if you're unlucky, you'll fall the victim for that. But
Mm-hmm.
constructing your own house, it's a daunting process. So I advise anyone in Canada to buy a house from the builder, because they are the experts, they have the manpower. Because getting these tradesmen and the contractors is a big challenge in Canada. That's not as easy as in India.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So like if I buy a, like suppose a, if I want to construct my own house, then I need to buy a land as well. Like it's not like they are buying the land, I just need to pay the money. It's not like that.
No, so there you need to understand the difference process. Like the process is, if you want to do everything by yourself, you can buy a lot from the developer. Now developer will allot a particular plot to you. Then you can hire all the tradesmen, everything. That's a different story. Or you go to a builder, you see what he has to offer you, and he says like, I have this phase open and these many lots are available, this is the location of the lot, this is the model of the house, and there are any changes, like for example in one of the models you like the model overall, but you want a bedroom in the main floor, and which is not a usual thing in North America. They don't prefer a bedroom in the main floor, but there are few builders who accommodate that request and build that main floor bedroom for you. And if you want a full bathroom in the main floor, they can do it for you. But again, it comes with a cost.
Okay, so if you want to customize the map, like the house map,
Floor
they'll like
plan, yeah.
charge you extra. Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
okay.
it totally depends on builder to builder. Few builders they charge extra. Few builders they replace the cost. For example, if you get a den and two bath in main floor in regular model, now you want that den to be converted into a bedroom. Bedroom typically means you need to have window, you need to have a closet. That becomes your bedroom. Then the two bath, you need to convert into a four-piece bath. Like you need a standing shower or a bathtub in that, so that you can take a bath there. So whatever extra amenities you're adding, they will charge for that. That are very very few
Mm-hmm.
builders. But normally
Oh, okay.
what builders do is like, oh, you are changing the whole plan, we have to go to the city and then we have to reevaluate our plan, get a new permission. So we will charge you on top of whatever the price we agreed upon. And now, for example, your house is 650,000 and you wanted these changes, that will become 680 now. Okay. So this totally depends on how you negotiate with the builder. That's where we come in as a real estate agent. We know how to price it properly. If the builder says, no, this will cost you 30,000 extra, I can chime in and say, can you give me the breakdown where you are spending that extra 30,000? I don't think this is going to charge you, get you like 30,000. We can finish it in 20,000 or 25,000. So that's how we negotiate from our clients' behalf.
Oh, okay, okay. So like so I'm just trying to understand why the price is same if I want to buy, like the old house, and if I am building the new house. So because from my thinking, it should be less, like building your own house.
No, not at all. Building your own house is almost same, because the thing is like, first of the involvement, and people have more craze towards the new houses. There are a lot of competition for the new houses. For example, we have two houses. One is listed for 650 and was built in 1990, and there is another house which is going to be coming in next 6 months by a new builder. Okay, so what happens is like, if all the specs are same, every floor plan, everything is same. Now the guy who is selling the house for, which was built in 1990, might have a deck, might have some made renovations, might have built a beautiful gym in the basement. So these are the special things or customizations you might get extra for the price of a
Mm-hmm.
new house, where you have to do all these things like building a deck, building a basement, or doing some fancy renovations, doing an accent wall. You have to do by yourself. That will cost you more. That is the difference between an old house and a new house. But overall, when you sell a house afterwards, the new house will get you more money. rather than the old house
Oh,
which
okay.
you bought. That's the
Oh, okay.
difference.
Okay. Because what why I thought like that's because suppose like if some house is built in maybe 1950, from that time the house is like appreciating, appreciating, and appreciating, right? So by the time maybe like after 25 years, it should be like more costing more than normal building the house.
It's a simple calculation like inflation. For example, in 1950, the inflation rate is 0.5%, but now it is almost 6%.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
based on the inflation, the price of the house increases. But whenever, just put yourself in the customer's boots. You are a customer, you are going to buy a house. The first thing you will be worried about is, if I buy a particular house, what are the new things I need to do? What are the challenges I have to face? It's not about only money, but the time you need to invest in it. For example, you bought a house of 1960, and after buying like 3 4 months, you found out the furnace is gone. You need to replace the furnace. To buy a new furnace will cost you around 8 to 12,000. That's the only money part. But you have to find the furnace company. You need to accommodate the time. You need to give all the instructions to the furnace guy who's coming to fix that. How much time you're involving in it. Rather than you buy a new house, everything will be okay for next 10 years. You don't need to spend
Hmm.
extra time and money and all the efforts you need to fix it. That's the difference.
Okay. No, yeah, that makes sense actually. But then the why a lot of people, especially like if you see nowadays, a lot of people they like go with the house reselling. Nobody's going and buying a newly constructed house and in general. Why it's like that?
Honestly, I'm seeing the reverse trend in Calgary, particularly because 90% of my clients they want to buy a new house. Only 10% are
Okay.
like, okay, show me the other houses as well. We are open for that. But 90% of them, they're like, oh, we want the brand new house. We should be the first person who is living there. But there is another set of population who calculate in terms of money, like how, if I am putting 600,000 to a old house, I will get extra things. Like I can get a finished basement which I can rent it out. I can get a deck which I don't need to build or need to spend money on it or time on it to build the deck. I can get the fencing for the house for free. Otherwise I need to share with my neighbors. Like to build a fence can cost you around 1,500 to $5,000, which will be free for you. Or
Hmm.
there will be some other customizations in the house, you might like it. So that is the difference again. But totally, what I understood out of my experience, people who are coming to Calgary from different provinces or out of country, they are focusing on new construction.
Okay, maybe like more because in general means normal people, mango people, they know it from YouTube or maybe Instagram or somewhere, right? That hey, I bought a house from from this person or whatever it is, right? So in general,
Yes,
this is the notion in the market.
yes. Yeah, that is true. Most of the people they follow social media. Like if I
Hmm.
promote something in social media and it goes viral, people don't even think beyond that. Is it even legit? So that is again a challenge. You need to educate everyone. But see, it's your own choice what you want to take or what you want to buy. It's your own money. We can only help you to make things easy and make things understandable. Other than that, it totally depends on the individual.
No, no, that's correct. That's correct. Because that's how I also know. Like normally when I watch Instagram reels or something, I just know like that people sell and other people buy.
Yeah, that's the problem. Even in the Instagram, what I am seeing recently is like uh, random people who doesn't have any experience in the real estate. They just talk about different strategies. Oh, you can do this, and you will end up with this. But what about the back process? If you are saying, okay, you buy an old house, do the renovations, and flip it, okay, that is possible. But when you buy an old house, who will guarantee that that old house does not come with surprises? Even though you get the home inspection done, home inspectors have some limitations. They cannot see beyond the walls because they have
Hmm.
some accessibility issues. They like upfront tell you that we can only give you an estimate of issues. like this can happen, or these are the issues already there, but they cannot anticipate the issues. They cannot tell that your furnace will break down after 3 months. They're not God.
Mm-hmm. No, no,
So
no,
that's
no.
the major
That's
issue.
that's right.
So when these Instagram guys tell all the stuff, they only give you an idea. You should not take it as this. There's an idea of doing things. You need to put your own brains or get the industry experts involved in it. They will guide you through.
No, that's right. That's right. So like also like I can reduce the price of the home. Suppose like I went to a builder and they told, hey, like this much will be the price and this much thing I'll be offering you in the new house when
Hmm.
I'll build it. So I can tell, hey, like I'm a person who just wanted to live simple. I'm not a fancy person. So can you cut down all these things and reduce the price overall? Is it possible?
Yes, basically. So normally what builders do is, for example, you go to a builder XYZ and he has ABC models and you found B model is good for you. In the B model, he will tell you these are the standards, like minimum requirements by the city of Calgary or city of whatever city you live in.
Oh, okay.
Those are called specs. Okay. On top of it, if you want to make any changes, for example, you found there is a island in the kitchen and it has a wash basin. Now you don't like that wash basin in the island. You can move that wash basin from there to the countertop, kitchen countertop, and your island will be plain now. Or if you think, oh, I don't want island, you can tell the builder, oh, I don't want the island, or you don't like the granite on it, you want quartz countertop, or you want to
Mm-hmm.
downgrade, you can do that. That's not a problem. You can negotiate with the builder. But most of the time builders will try to keep everything as is so that price should not come down. And they will try to upsell you by saying that, oh, if you get this, you need to pay 5,000 extra. If you get this, you need to pay 2,000 extra, which is reasonable because they have to put more time, more efforts, more manpower, and they have to change the quality of the material what they have offering you. So that's why whenever you go to
Mm-hmm.
a new builder, you need to take that standard material list. So they give you a list of things what they're going to put in the building, and the brand of that particular thing. It can be an appliance, so like Samsung, LG, GE, whatever appliance they're putting. So they put that exactly what they're going to do. And if you want any changes, the cost will involve in it. If they are putting GE and you want, okay, I can settle with
Some cheaper
Whirlpool,
one.
cheaper one.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can change it. That's not a problem. But it should have the same dimensions and everything.
Okay,
That's
so
the
they will
difference.
just like, yeah, so they will tell, I'm not getting the dimension, I have this problem, that problem, and they want to keep that same cost.
Yeah, because that is the main issue with the builders. They cannot come down the cost as much as possible. And because now the market is so hot for the new construction properties, whenever a phase opens, the properties get sold within like 1 week in Calgary,
Oh,
particularly,
okay.
which is not usual here. Like, but since 1 year, it is happening because most of the people who came from outside Canada, like from India, Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
Bangladesh,
Mm-hmm.
for IT jobs, they
Mm-hmm.
are getting their PR now. They were on work permit before. Now they got the PR. Now they have the income. They have the eligibility to buy the house. So obviously the demand is high.
Oh, okay, okay. So in general, like if you all show some tantrum, hey, like I want to reduce the price, they'll be like, this customer is not good, leave them, right?
They don't have that time and patience. See, again, depends on the demand and supply. For example, if you're selling apples and you are the only vendor in that particular city, you can show your tantrum saying that, okay, this apple is 100 rupees or $100, and you will not
Mm-hmm.
negotiate on that. But if you have like 100 vendors with you, now
Mm-hmm.
customer will negotiate with you. Oh, the other guy is selling for $90, why should I pay you $100? The same thing
Mm-hmm.
applies here. Because the
Mm-hmm.
demand is here, the housing is very low right now, people are more, and there is no good properties available. Like, I when I talk this with my clients, like my clients, oh, we can see a lot of houses for sale in realtor.ca or zillow.com. I said, like, fine, then go buy there. Now the problem is they don't like that houses. Those are the houses which are sitting in the Zillow or realtor.ca for a while. which nobody is looking at it. But the crowd is there, the inventory is there, which is not sellable. If you want to buy the rotten apples, go ahead, buy that. But if you
Mm-hmm.
want the fresh apples, you should compete in the market. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. No, that's right. Because like there are people who are just ready to buy. Why the hell someone will give you like care about you, right? It's fine if you have so much of problem. It's fine. Go somewhere, right?
Exactly. Particularly the sales representatives in the pre-construction show homes, they are sick of people who just come and do the window shopping. Most of the people like who come to see the houses, they don't have the pre-approval done from the any mortgage lender. Now when those kind of prospects come to these representatives or the show homes, they know that these are not sure short sales. They are just doing the window shopping or they're just doing the time pass, and they don't have time for it right now in this market. So many builders have created a like a situation right now where you have to book an appointment to see a showroom. Previously it was open for all, you can go anytime and see a showroom, but now you need to book an appointment, then only you're allowed to come in the showroom, because they have a
Oh.
lot of walk-ins. They cannot
Mm-hmm.
give you time, and they need to filter out the serious buyers. They cannot talk to each and every person who even doesn't have the qualifications or who it doesn't have any motivation to buy a house. They just want to see how Canada houses look. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right. So like suppose like suppose like I'm just thinking like if we can easily buy a house like newly constructed, or I mean to say, then why Canada has like a scarcity of house? What's the reason behind it?
The affordability. For example, in Calgary, when I moved here, the double car garage front with 2000 square feet and all the amenities, the best quality house was selling for 480 or 490K. Now the same
Mm-hmm.
house the builder is selling for at least 750K. One thing,
Okay.
there's a scarcity. Second thing, scarcity of the tradesmen, contractors, land, permissions from the city of Calgary, and all this stuff. And the number of people have doubled and tripled. So the competition has increased. So that's why I'm saying, like, whenever a builder opens a new phase, they are getting sold in 1 week. Previously it was not the case. So previously when builder wants to sell his lot, like every developer has for example, a developer has 100 lots. Now this developer invites the builders. Now every builder will try to get 10 or 12 lots for himself. So now, for example, you have 5 builders in a whole lot, a whole developer's project. Each builder will have 20 lots. Now each builder will try to sell to his own customers. Previously, the builders used to have a timeline of 2 to 3 years to sell these 20 lots. Now the situation is they are selling in within 6 months.
Oh.
That's the problem. So
Mm.
there are so many people who are interested to buy as a first time home buyer for themselves, and there are so many people who have gained the equity on their existing homes, and they are using that equity to buy an investment property and putting on rents. That's why if
Mm-hmm.
you come to Calgary, you will find a lot of houses to sell, but the vacancy rate is zero. What I mean by vacancy rate, the rental market is so tight. Like if you put your house for rent with a genuine rent on it, you will get at least 40 to 50 inquiries for that house.
Yeah,
Recently,
that's
I sold a house to my client who published in Facebook that I have a 2 bedroom basement, legal basement for rent for $1,500. He got 52 inquiries in 1 hour.
oh my God.
Yes, that's it. It feels like unusual, but that is the scenario right now. because people don't have houses. There are people who are living in their friend's house after moving to Calgary to get a new house. I still know people who are calling me saying, Afroz, can you help me rent a house? Because they cannot
Hmm.
afford a new house right now. Because right now
Hmm.
in Calgary, if you want to afford a new house, it is at least 500 to $700,000 a decent house, which is semi-detached or detached. But if you're talking about townhouses, they are around 400 to 500 range, which was usually 250 to 350. So that
Hmm.
is the main problem in Calgary right now, but still better than Ontario and Vancouver.
Right, right, right. So basically, the problem is permission, or the problem is the scarcity of worker. Like, which is the major problem?
See, permissions is not a problem. City and Calgary can permit you new construction. That's not a problem. But even they allow new construction, the construction should be in a particular area where the construction is possible. That is called zoning. So what I mean by zoning is like, for example, you go on a highway and you find a open piece of land. Now that open piece of land, you cannot do whatever you want. You need to go to the city of Calgary and ask that particular land, what is the zoning for that? What kind of construction I can do on it? Is it for zoned for industry? Is it zoned for commercial? Is it zoned for residential? If in residential also, what kind of residential properties I can build? Is it for acreages or detached properties or apartments? So they have so many
Oh,
different rules and regulations around this zoning. Now, what I am recently hearing is City of Calgary is ready to talk to the people and help them have a blanket zoning. What I mean by blanket zoning is like they can allow you to change the zoning for a particular land if you have enough experience or enough manpower to do that. You need to show some credibility that you are capable to handle that situation. So that is one advantage right now we have recently coming in Calgary. The other thing what I would feel is like most of the neighborhoods here, they are like concentrated. Everybody wants to live in a particular community or a particular neighborhood because they like the amenities, they like the shopping there, they like the accessibility to the public transportation and all those stuff. Calgary has grown immensely, like since 5 years, which the city of Calgary is trying to accommodate new facilities. They are extending the public transport, like extending the LRTs, extending the routes of the buses, and all those stuff. But it will take some time. Even healthcare, in Canada, that is an issue. Like you have scarcity. If you go to
yeah,
urgent
yeah.
care, you sit for a couple of hours in emergency. If you go for regular checkups, just God will save you.
I know, I know, I know.
So city is trying to come up with that. They are trying to like accommodate new hospitals, and before even constructing a hospital, they need the doctors, the nurses, the manpower to work there. So that is the main challenge here.
Yeah, yeah. In Canada, it's like unless you're not dying, they're not going to check you immediately.
Not at all.
Yeah, and this is like everywhere. It doesn't matter which province you go. This is like
Yes.
everywhere.
Exactly. So recently, it's kind of a tip from my side. So what we do here, if I'm in Calgary, my the nearest hospital is 20 minutes away. But I know if I go there, I have to sit for like 2 to 3 hours. What I do, I go to the rural area. Like I have a city called Didsbury here. It's a small
Mm-hmm.
town, like with 5,000 people, but they have a big hospital. So rather than
Mm-hmm.
traveling 20 minutes here, I travel 40 minutes there, and I get
Mm-hmm.
checked in 10 minutes. So
Oh.
so that's again a tip, like life hack. Rather than waiting for a couple of hours, traveling 20 minutes, travel 40 minutes, get you checked, come back home within 1 hour.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that's good. You can just like jump in immediate suddenly, that hey, I have this emergency, and they will just check
Yep,
you internally
because they have no one
because they
there.
don't have
Because
that much queue.
exactly, like last year it happened to me. I had an issue when I was in Banff. So I went 2 o'clock in the night to the emergency. I was the only patient in the whole hospital in Banff.
Wow. Wow.
I was so surprised to see that because I had few experiences in Ontario when I used to live there. So even though I was in emergency, I went around like with my daughter when she was 1 year old, and we went at 11:30. And the first visit of doctor was at 6:30 in the morning. So
Mm.
it was so daunting for us. Like we are just waiting for the doctor, and my daughter is vomiting there and feeling sick. As a parent, you feel very bad. Like you feel
Yeah, right.
helpless.
That's right.
Being a
Correct.
doctor myself, I feel like no, this should not be the situation because I was a dentist in India when and I changed my profession after coming here.
Oh my God, that's a big change, you know?
Yeah, that's a big change. I understand. Everybody gets surprised when I tell this, but that's a fact.
Yeah, so back to the point. So it's basically, I think the thing which you're telling, like building a new house, getting a permission, I think it's like same in every province in Canada. It doesn't matter where you go.
Almost same. Depends again the local city rules. Every city has their own council and they define the rules. You cannot change them, or you cannot say, "Oh, the city of Toronto has something else. City of Calgary, you can adopt from there." But every city has their own set of rules, so we cannot do anything
Mhm,
for that. They're almost
mhm.
same, but with small tweaks.
So is there any like list or something, where a person can go and check that, okay, which houses are eligible, which I mean to say, which land is eligible for, constructing house or, like suppose if I want to build a house, I can get a list. Okay, these are the land which you can buy if you want this kind of house, and then you can go and then you can buy. Is it like possible?
Yeah, it is possible. So every city has a county, and every county has a county office. So every they have a website where you can go and see the zoning of the house of the whole county or the city. For example, in Calgary, the north part of the Calgary is under Rocky View Mountain County. So they have a website there. You can go to their website. You can go to the maps and see the particular piece of land where it falls, in which zoning it falls. If you see that particular piece of land is falling under residential, now you can approach the owner of that land if that is owned privately. And you should be very careful in Calgary because we have so many First Nation groups here, and they have very good. I would not say the majority, but handsomely good amount of ownership of the lands. So you should not touch that. But apart from that, any land which is available privately, you can reach out to the owner of the land and negotiate with him. And if you want to involve a real estate agent, he can do all that groundwork for you. He knows where to go rather than you wondering what to do, checking YouTube, Google, and all those stuff. So, but again, constructing your own house here in Canada, I don't encourage it because it's waste of time. Time is money here. Just imagine if you're making 40, $50 an hour and you're putting all that efforts to find a land, build a house, and all those stuff. End of the day, it boils down to the fact that you're wasting your time where you could have made more money compared to saving money here. So
That's correct. But the thing which you are telling, it's basically like, it's a kind of, I would say, like a as a company who owns a big piece of land and giving the small pie to the construction agents, like construction companies, and they are
builders,
constructing the house, right?
yes.
Yeah, okay. And which I am telling is like privately I'm doing it. Just I'm going and shopping for a land and then giving it to some construction company, or maybe asking some broker that, hey, can you help me out to build a building here? So that is a difference, I guess.
Difference is, yeah, as I told you, like you want to become a developer now. When you become a developer, you have so many headaches on your head, and 90% of the time you don't know what to do. So that is
Mm,
a big challenge here. There are so many rules associated. It's not as easy as in any other country, or like specifically like Asian countries where you can buy any land, do whatever you want. But here you have set of rules. You need to follow them. You need to understand what is this land eligible for. If you want to change the zoning, only to get the zoning change, it may take you 10 years.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay,
this
okay, okay.
recently happened to us when one of my clients wanted to construct an indoor stadium, and we saw 150 acres of land which was under agriculture zoning. So we approached the county saying that we found this land privately owned by a person, and my client wants to change into a recreational area. So they gave a list of consultants whom we can approach, and those consultants are licensed to help us to do that. But those consultants, the minimum fees is $25,000. So that's the problem. Now, again, after reaching the consultants, they told us that it will take at least 10 to 15 years to change the zoning of that land. And there is no guarantee for that. So, why to waste your time and efforts in doing that when you can find a better deal by going to a developer or a builder who can give you a piece of land which they own privately, where everything is done, no headache, you just go and build from there.
Means they will build, you just have to go and give them the money and look out the plan that what they're building and you're good,
Yes, that's the easiest way.
right?
A bit
Hmm.
harder way is like buying the land from the developer and engaging all the contractors, doing your paperwork and all the stuff. If you are really interested,
Hmm. I understand. And there's not like much price difference if I do like that, right?
you will end up paying more.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Because when it's like a big lot and there are like a lot of people, a lot of properties involved, a lot of people involved, then it's normally cost decrease because also a lot
E-
of buyers are there.
Exactly. And the materials you're buying, the contractors you're hiring, they will come at a cheaper rate for the bulk. Imagine you are a plumber and you are asked by a private person to come for 5 hours and do a job. Otherwise, you are invited by a builder to work for 500 hours for next 6 months. Where will you go?
Hmm.
Simple.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you have 500 hours here, even though he's paying you less, but here you are getting only 5 hours. Even he pays you double the money, but after 5 hours, what are you making? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the
No, that's right.
difference. So
Yeah.
tradespeople and
You're
the contractors, they will always choose a bigger work rather than a small piece of
mm,
work. That's the difference.
mm, yeah. Because it's not here like, there are a bunch of people who don't have work. They already are like they're very busy, right? There's also a scarcity of people. So
Exactly.
yeah, that is one of them. Correct, 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 correct. So you only work in Calgary or you can work like anywhere in Canada?
I'm licensed for whole Alberta, but I have
Oh,
teams
okay.
in Ontario and Vancouver. So I have associations with the real estate agents in different provinces, because I work under a brokerage called Real Broker, and Real Broker
Hmm.
has teams in Canada and US. So if anybody wants to
Oh,
buy a house, he can come to me. I can suggest connect with a particular real estate agent in that zone, still under my brokerage, where everything will be under our control.
oh, okay. So you can also help people for buying house in US.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, that's good. That's another again another set of discussion. Like US
Yeah,
Canada.
we can do discussion on that later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. So,
Yes.
so the last question would be that what are the hacks you can like suggest people to like buy cheaper real estate in Canada? Because like why I was asking this question that building a house would be like cheaper and all, because nowadays you see the price of real estate, right? So the price of real estate is like too much that you cannot pay mortgage. The interest rate are very high, and also even if you're paying the mortgage and suppose you bought a house, it's sometimes you feel like doubtful that that this price gonna go up or not because the salary is not going up. So you never know, market can crash. There's always a kind of danger, right, in future. So what are the hacks that person can buy a house in cheaper price or maybe get a constructed house in cheaper price?
I won't say it's a hack. It's about your investigation skills. Either you do by yourself or hire a licensed real estate agent to do it for you. You talk to the real estate agent, have a consultation with him. Sit, put forward all your needs, what exactly you're envisioning. For example, Mr. XYZ wants to buy a house in Calgary and his budget is 500,000. He can put a down payment of 20%, which is 100,000, and he can afford a monthly mortgage of $3,000. That's his budget. Now he is
Mm-hmm.
thinking that I will be buying this property as an investment property. I will not live there. And because you have to make $3,000 as a monthly mortgage payments, now you should be able to get the rent out of it to cover your mortgage. That is how typical person thinks. But
Correct.
when you choose the property, you should choose the possibilities of making rent. If you bought a property which has upper floor and a basement, but the basement doesn't have a separate entrance, then you have to rent the whole house to one individual and he will not pay you more than 2500 in the current scenario. Rather than buy a house with a separate entrance, it can be smaller in square feet. It doesn't matter. If you buy a house with 2000 square feet with a basement with no separate entrance, you will still get 2500. You buy a house with 1500 square feet with a basement with a separate entrance, you can rent 2400 for the upper floor, at least 1200 to 1300 the basement. Now your total rental income is around 3800, where you are getting only 2500 for the other house which has 2000 square feet. So I always advise my clients to lay down their requirements first. What exactly they are trying to buy, it is for themselves or investment property. If it is for themselves, what are the requirements? If it is investor property, what are the financial outcomes you are expecting out of it? Second thing is locality or the community. Which community will grow? Which community has the craze in the market right now? Which community has the accessibility to the major what areas in the city? That is second aspect. The third aspect is look at the number of houses sold in that particular area. If that area is not selling houses, that means there is some restriction in that area. There is something which is stopping people from selling the houses. It can be First Nations area, it can be industrial area, it can be the area where only people who belong to a particular community, like Chinese community, Indian community, African community. So the people will hesitate to buy in a particular community which are famous for that. So you need to be very, very choosy and should have filled all these check marks. That is the best way of buying a real estate. To do this, you need to have a realtor. You cannot do it by yourself because
Mm-hmm.
you cannot research everything by yourself. Realtors do every day. For example, I get up in the morning, the first thing I see is the hot sheet. The hot sheet is how many houses got sold in Calgary, which area, what price, and which are in pending, which are not getting sold, for which property the price has reduced, the price has increased. All these things, we first thing in the morning we see that. When I am on top of it, then I am that is the only way I can deliver the actual essence of it to my clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like obviously maybe I'll sit another time with you to have conversation on US versus Canada, because that's gonna be a like very interesting
Yeah,
conversation.
definitely. That's a
Yeah,
new
and
trend
today
now.
I think, yeah, yeah, right, right. That's a new trend. A lot of people are doing it. And
Yes.
today I think we got a lot of information from you, and that is really valuable, because the uniqueness which I told you, that you are more into the construction thing, which I have heard like first time. So thank you for all the information, and thank you for joining me. And we're gonna sit again another time to discuss more about US versus Canada.
Sure, sure. Thank you for inviting. I wish you all the best with your YouTube channel and have a good luck. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.